Welcome to the Vet SOS Veteran Entrepreneur Spotlight. Remember, don't drown in the sea of transition. Grab the Vet SOS Lifeline. The Veteran Entrepreneurial Spotlight is sponsored by Spirit Point Solutions. Spirit Point Solutions is a one-stop shop for leading-edge products, services, and training from multiple vendors. From AI training to corporate gifts and much more, they have everything you need to help your organization thrive in the modern economy. Check out all the valuable offerings at spiritpointonline.com and remember to use the code VETSOS on anything you purchase there. That will help us continue our mission of improving the lives of those who have served. Today, we sit down with Julia Ruddock, founder and professional certified coach at Hayati Coaching and Consulting. Hayati Coaching and Consulting specializes in partnering with military and corporate leaders to make their best career moves with ease. Julia has built and led award-winning career services teams and talent programs at Citigroup, Salesforce, and 3 different universities. Her leadership, mentorship, business relationship management, and coaching expertise has enabled approximately 4,000 career transitions over the past decade into entrepreneurship. That's fantastic. Fortune 500 and small and mid-sized businesses across the U.S. Julia holds a Bachelor of Science in General Engineering in Arabic from West Point, as well as a Master's of Art in Diplomacy from Norwich University. That is an amazing bio. How are you doing today, Julia?
I'm doing fantastic. It's a great day. How about you, Sean?
Oh, not too bad. Can't complain. Sun's shining and getting after it today. So very happy about that. So let's start real quick with your transition. Out of the military. How'd that go?
It's probably not unlike a lot of the clients or just other veterans I've worked with over the past couple of years. I actually transitioned through a leadership development program that back in 2012 was the first time that Citigroup was doing that for their consumer business. They've had like Veterans on Wall Street type of programs before, for the more investment banking, but I don't think they really did anything for the consumer business beforehand. So it was about a good year of preparation and exploring different avenues for what I was interested in and trying to find the common denominator between all of those things. And I ended up with Citigroup in the end in the private sector.
That's fantastic. So what led you to want to be an entrepreneur?
Freedom, Sean. Isn't that what it really is all about? I kind of dreamt about, being back home in the Caribbean region. I'm originally from Jamaica. And, being in Florida and being able to hop back and forth, I don't know, I just kind of felt like I had what it took to kind of go out on my own. And I kind of felt like after a while, I kept getting a lot of referrals to me for very basic things. And yeah, for me, entrepreneurship is really all about freedom, really freedom of choice in terms of what it is that you do, how you spend your time, and what value you would love to provide to other people as opposed to what other people say you should do. So I'm all about kind of marrying up what you're good at with what you actually want to do as quickly as possible in life.
That's fantastic. I mean, you hit on one of the big keys is freedom, right? And then the other thing is your why, and you've been able to marry those together, and that's just fantastic. So
Absolutely.
Along your journey, to tell us, what the best part of being an entrepreneur has been and what the worst part has been.
That's a good question, actually. The best part about being an entrepreneur for me is it gave me the ability to earlier than I originally planned to relocate back to the Caribbean. That's been one of the biggest things that I've had since I left Jamaica. When I was young, I think I was like 13 or something like that when I left Jamaica and kind of started school in the U.S. Education system and all that. But I always had it in my mind. I want to go back to, if not Jamaica, at least the Caribbean. And I thought that was probably going to be something in my 50s or something like that. And I was able to get that done. And by the time I was 35. So that's the biggest thing for me. There's nothing wrong with going in an office, obviously, or whatnot. It's just me personally. I wanted to kind of get back to my roots as quickly as possible and kind of reestablish life back in my home region, and also to be closer to family and friends and things of that nature. So that was it. I was able to get that done much, much earlier than most people anticipated, including myself. And then number 2, in terms of what's the worst thing about being an entrepreneur? I don't know. I would say that sometimes it can get a little bit like you're trapped in a fishbowl on your own. And how I've been able to kind of help combat that a little bit. I'm not necessarily in a bunch of professional organizations or whatnot, but I do consult with other or consult with clients from other organizations. They kind of send their clients to me for very specific things. And through that collaboration, I'm still able to kind of feel like I'm a part of a team environment by working with other businesses like that. So I've kind of helped out a little bit. But yeah, at the end of the day, when I feel like I'm lonely, I just head back home to Jamaica, where it's the land of all hustlers, and I feel right back home again.
That's good. That's good. Okay, that's fantastic. So, along your journey, have you participated in any programs, professional development, things like that, organizations, professional organizations? What kind of resources have you used to help you build your business?
Great question. Back, I want to say this was probably 2017, 2018 timeframe. Florida at the time participated or formed a program called the Florida Veterans Entrepreneurship Program, FVEP. And I think that was the inaugural cohort that I was a part of back in that time. I think it was 2017, 2018 timeframe. And since then, I've been pretty surprised with how, the state of Florida has been able to grow these programs, this particular program and the reach of the program into helping, veterans enter the entrepreneurship space on their own, but not only in business, but, in other different industries like agriculture and all that. I think it's been pretty fantastic. At the time, the Hillsborough Community College in the Tampa Bay area was the partner for that region for delivering this program, and I thought it was great. I learned a lot. I met a lot of veterans and found like, wow, okay, it's not just me. And to be honest, there's a good handful of veterans from that program I still am in contact with over time, just, keeping connected, checking in on how things are going. And, if they need anybody, that most of them, reach out and touch me a little bit. Hey, do you have anybody who's a client of yours who's looking for something for this type of role or whatnot? And it's been pretty great that I've been able to help them, continue to grow their business with, the talent that they're looking for through my clientele. So yeah, state of Florida has been pretty good when it comes to investing in veterans. I'm pretty impressed with them when it comes to that for sure.
Absolutely. I'm here in Florida as well, and they have some wonderful
Exactly.
programs and definitely support their veteran population. So,
Absolutely. Yeah.
and I love the fact that you know you're still maintaining that network. You went through there, you took full advantage of not only what you were being taught and what you're trying to learn, but also you took the time to network and build those relationships and continue to foster those as you move forward. So that's fantastic.
Yep.
All right, so
Yep. That's the
tell,
big thing. Mhm.
yeah, tell us about your coaching business. What services do you provide? Tell us everything you can about it.
Absolutely. So Hayati Coaching is really a full service, client driven coaching practice. A lot of people who are looking for work or looking to just transition out of the space and maybe align their career with a little bit more with the direction that their life is looking to go. A lot of people don't really know how to go about that. So I'm actually a certified career as well as a life coach, and I help with really bringing those two together, the vision, the goals, what it is that you want to do, and working with you being in the driver's seat, not necessarily me being prescriptive about what it is that I think you should do. I think that's the main difference between coaching and advising. So I've been able to help, about 1,000 people over the past 4 years, really, mainly veterans and also folks from the corporate sector. Pivot into new opportunities, and the process is really simple, Sean. It's not like it's rocket science, but a lot of people just don't really know how to go about even beginning to look for an opportunity other than going online and looking on Indeed. So I help clients with improving their visibility. Are you in the spaces that your target audience of employers are more likely to actually find you? So I work with them on optimizing their visibility online and in the spaces that they need to engage employers. Where do employers hang out? Okay, that's how we need to go there, and that's how we need to go about that. I also help them with increasing their reach. A lot of people get stuck in the same ecosystem, whether you're a banker, you only know bankers. Maybe you're in engineering and you only know engineering, or maybe you're in manufacturing and that's all you've ever known, and now you want to do something different. A lot of people don't really know how to break out of those spaces. And I really work with them to kind of improve their visibility, get their storyline straight. What are the core values they actually have to offer an employer, and what kind of problems are you actually looking to solve for an employer? All of those things, I work with them to kind of iron out, get clarity on that, and then come up with a game plan, a strategy for helping them meet different people, create new contacts, and leverage networking primarily to help them uncover actionable insights, intel, what's going on behind the scenes of an organization, and also help them get referrals into organizations that they ideally want to work with. So it's not rocket science, but at the same time, I feel like a lot of people are kind of trapped in this headspace where they feel like they're going about it alone. They don't have anyone to talk to, or maybe they don't even trust anybody. So that's where I, as a coach, have been able to help a lot of veterans. I'd probably say my clientele has been 75% veterans over the course of the last 4 years. And it's been great. It's been great. It's been about 2-3 years in business so far. So it's been going pretty well.
That's wonderful to hear. And one of the things I pulled out of what you were saying was that it wasn't, is that you look at the whole picture and you look beyond, the things that we can see as a potential client. It's where we sort of get trapped in our own reality, and you're able to help us see past that and find those next steps and the additional things we need to do.
Yeah. And I would even add to that, especially in the case of veterans, there's also the discomfort with talking even to private sector or other, professionals from other sectors. We've never really had to sell ourselves, so to speak, or we've never really had to put together a storyline that actually helps to answer what it is that we can do. Not based on what we've done before, but really based on the impact that we've had within organizations of the past. And I feel like the storytelling is the biggest disconnect really between veterans, more specifically, whether it's for business purposes or for employment purposes. That storyline is one of the major challenges that luckily, that's something I'm good at. My friends can tell me that I can talk a glass eye to sleep, but it's all about, the relevance of our message. How well is it connecting with the needs of the organization? And that's probably one of the biggest foundational best practices that I've been able to help veterans build confidence with delivering and creating, but also with delivering over time as well to different audiences. And it's been pretty remarkable transformations that clients have been able to have over the past couple of years. Yeah.
Fantastic. All right. So as we get ready to close here, what's one recommendation that you would give to anybody who wants to be an entrepreneur?
Do your research, right? And ask yourself why. Why are you actually doing it? Is it to, get freedom? Is it to just have a little bit more flexibility? I think if you're able to iron out the why of entrepreneurship and what that actually enables you to do, the path or the way that you go about it, it becomes a little bit easier, because then you'll be more solutions focused, more problem solving oriented, and getting to where it is that you actually want to be. So if you can start with the end in mind, as Simon Sinek says, the pathway really is just a matter of just getting a better understanding of the lay of the land a little bit, and it becomes a little bit easier than most of us would think. I mean, I'm a one-person shop. I've been able to do it by the time I was 35, and I will say at the end of it all, I probably would have started sooner if I actually had my ducks in a row. So that's probably the last thing I'll say. Start as early as possible, even if it is just a side hustle. You never know what it might turn into later on.
Absolutely. All right. So what's the best place for the audience to connect with you, and the best place to check out your business?
LinkedIn. I build my business entirely on LinkedIn. I help my clients through LinkedIn. So that's the best way to find me, Julia Ruddock. I'm sure you'll include that in the show notes or something like that, Sean. I'd appreciate that. But yeah, find me on LinkedIn, folks.
Absolutely. That's wonderful. So thank you, Julia, for joining us on Vet SOS today. On behalf of the Vet SOS family, we'd like to thank everyone for joining us today. You can find Vet SOS podcast on all your favorite podcast platforms, YouTube, and all social media platforms. Make sure to subscribe and follow so you don't miss a thing. And remember, don't drown the sea of transition. Grab the Vet SOS Lifeline.